Well, it felt odd not doing a video for you guys. I think it was all day yesterday and this morning. We're racing tonight, counting Jason's horse. We have 5 in tonight. We have 5 in tomorrow. A couple in Ontario Thursday. No racing at the Meadows this week, which feels odd also. And then for our kids, at least, there's a little bit of a spring break starting on Friday. We're going to make our way back over to Ontario this weekend. Amy's mom is retiring, so she wanted to get all the family together and go somewhere. So I said, absolutely, whatever you want. I'm perfectly fine with that. They wanted to go to a Blue Jays game, which was certainly okay by me. Haven't been to a Blue Jays game live in 2-3 years, and it will be nice to sit down. Amy's sister and her husband Matt is coming, and it should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun for the kids. Amy's sister's kids are virtually the same age as our kids, so they get along well, and it should be a lot of fun this weekend. It fell on a good weekend. It's Easter weekend coming up here. There's no racing anywhere in Ohio that I'm aware of on Sunday. No, for sure, there's no racing in Ohio on Sunday. It's deferred to Monday and/or Saturday. I don't think we have a lot to enter on Saturday, so this is one of those weird weeks where I'm Northfield, training the babies, training the horses, heading back to Ontario, training the babies on Saturday again. Now I want to reach out to Curtis and Steve and see if we can't video the horses for you on Thursday. Everybody was looking good. I'll talk about them in a minute. A couple of horses Dr. Tessa had looked at and just said maybe just a week. Just go easy for a week. There's a little soreness in their stifles and tightness in their back that usually means they're loading weight. 9 times out of 10, it's their knees and or their feet. And it's an easy enough fix. I came in yesterday and 2 of the caretakers said Dr. Tessa looked at Aunt Sarah was one of them, which isn't that shocking anyway. She's been doing fantastic work. Now, when I talked to Mike, he said, listen, they can train. He says, no real big deal. He said, but a week off wouldn't hurt them either. He said, Aunt Sarah, and he watches Aunt Sarah quite closely also, said that she's been going full time, never really missed any days, and has been training great. Wouldn't hurt to give her a week. There's one other horse, I cannot think of it off the top of my head, but there's no serious issues, no concerns of all that we've been looking very, very close over the last 2 weeks, as you know. So that is really all it's up for this week is Northfield, right? I'm not going to be here on Saturday. I think we rose around Alexandra. She raced okay the other day. I think she's going to do her better racing ahead. Just give me 3 more starts before we start judging her. I need 3 starts just to tighten her up. I thought her last 100 yards were her best 100 yards of the mile the other night. It's not lost to me that she has to find 3 or 4 seconds to be an effective, useful horse for us this summer, but I'm not ruling that out. I'm certainly not saying I don't know if we can get there. I think we can. As I said, just going to have to give me a few starts to square her away and screw her down tight. And then, of course, I'll be back Sunday evening with whoever we have racing Monday. Be happy to do that next week at the Meadows. We should have a full barrage of horses also. Now, looks like money. I'm going to school him Thursday here. I'm not racing him next Sunday at Northfield. Now, hold on. Just wait a second. I'm going to school him Thursday in 59 or 2 minutes. We're not racing him next Sunday. We're going to enter him for the Meadows. If he does not race at the Meadows, we will then race him at Northfield Park. I know it's 3 weeks, but really what we're trying to do is get him geared up in a way that we can keep him fresh, sharp, sound, and ready to go for when Scioto Downs opens up. Same for Greatest Ending. You'll note that I stayed in with him the other night. I told you guys my thoughts on the race. Thought he actually raced pretty good. I just don't want to use those horses too hard right now because they got a long summer coming ahead of them, and I think every one of those horses, Save America, Rock Shining Star, Greatest Ending, is making his way back into the mix, hopefully. Looks like money. Spitfire Overseas is over. Somebody just messaged me and said, Anthony, Spitfire Overseas, he's staying at the Meadows, so you're going to race at Mohawk. He's going to stay at the Meadows because he still fits a low class. So we'll race him at the Meadows, his next start, and then we'll figure out what we're doing. Truthfully speaking, he likely also can fit at Scioto. Now, we don't want to have Yo Mister, Looks Like Money, and Spitfire Overseas tripping over one another. So if one of them has to go to Ontario, then so be it. But I think Yo Mister is better suited for Southern Ohio. So we're going to try our best to juggle everybody. We do have the Meadows. we do have Scioto, and we do have Northfield. Again, I was shocked that it looks like Money raced so well at Northfield Park, but I guess that's what good horses do, right? So once in a while, if you have to scoot them through there again, then that's what we'll do. So be it. In regards to the babies, they're all in great working order. You're going to see the horses in Ontario potentially this weekend again. I haven't talked to Curtis about that, but I will. I would like to video here Thursday morning. It looks like chilly morning to start with, but it's going to warm up to be a beautiful, beautiful morning. And moreover to that, a little concerning those qualifiers. So we have to, I don't mind getting started a little later, but then we can't do that because 11 o'clock is qualifiers. The track starts flooding with people at 10 a.m. warming up. Well, when you're having horses warm up for the first part of the qualifiers and you're trying to train babies, it's not a super easy thing to do. So I think I'm gonna switch the training sets around where if we have any that are going slow, I know for sure we have one set that I do not want to beat 30-35 with. That set can go first, then the next, and then so on and so forth. Now today, I was going to go with 6. I whittled that down to 5. 5 horses I wanted to go with today and see how they were. Now I went out in the track with, I'll start with in New York. I went out in the track with him and Jeff Conger and Ken Sherman were training. I asked if I could train a couple of horses with them. Not in advance. When I was on the track, I saw them out there. I'm like, hey, how much are you going? They only went a mile and 42 or something with their 2 horses, and I went within New York. Now, that's 20 seconds slower than he is right now, but his confidence and his comfort level was very reassuring today. I was very, very happy with what I saw from in New York today. And I guess a little spoiler alert. I believe he trained the best of anybody today. I didn't care about the speed or what they did. Again, I'm looking for that confidence, that comfort. And what I saw from in New York was, as I said, very reassuring and very refreshing today. He looked very, very good today. Now, it's hard to really glean too much into that because he did only go a mile and 2:42, but he looked very good. I didn't want to go too fast with any of them today. They are coming back Thursday, but these were horses that either missed Saturday's training or I wanted to get another training trip into them, or both in the case of in New York. I also went out with Blue Rare. She was great. I just wanted to get a slow training mile into her because what's better than that? I ordered pizza and the guy is literally getting out of his car as I'm pulling up. Everything's going smoothly this afternoon. I hope it stays that way for the rest of the day. So when it comes to, I wish he hadn't taken up the whole driveway though. Just half a driveway would have been good. In New York was very good. Blue Rare was very good. Rose Run Bobby, I did put the hobbles on her. I told you guys I was kind of torn on it the other day. I put the hobbles on Bobby. I don't want to put them on her to help her do her work. I want to put them on her to do better work. I guess maybe I didn't explain that well. I don't want her to use them as a crutch, right? I don't want her to maybe your knees are bothering her, maybe your feet are bothering her or something. We put the hobbles on her to help her trot. That isn't what I want to put them on for. I want her to lean on them and accelerate when I need her to. And that's exactly what she felt like today. I'm going to jog her with the hobbles on again tomorrow. She is a very, very timid filly, and stuff like this takes a little bit longer to take with her than maybe with other horses. So I'm going to give her a little more time for that to happen. But I was really happy with them. Capistrano Knights trained harder than everybody today, but I wanted to see how she bounced back Thursday after a little stiffer training on Tuesday. Nothing crazy. I went around like 28 or 30 with her. And she was very good also. Now, I did go with a 5th horse. Megan's Lucky Day. She was good also. I got in with Mr. Sherman and Mr. Conger, and they were nice enough to let me train the horse with them. They went a little quicker than that set, and Megan was like 2:31 or something. She was very, very good. The only concern with her is you got to watch her. When she runs in, she'll get to a boiling point where if she runs in anymore, she'll make a break in the turn. So you kind of got to keep her head over. I had that Murphy blind, which I hate doing, but I had that Murphy blind close to her eye the other day, and she was actually much better. That will pass, right? God did that. Everybody goes through these stages where they just have to push through and trust themselves. And some of them are getting through that stage right now. So that's where we're at with a lot of them. Very happy with what I've seen from them coming in coming in so far. Very happy with what I saw in Ontario. I was floored how good some of the horses were in Ontario the other day. So they've been doing great work over there. The 3-year-olds that are racing and coming back are looking good. The horses we have here, obviously, I'm super excited about Melisandre and Memento Mori tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. Also, a lot of people had sent me a message today. I like the video you made of the 10 horses moving forward. And it just, I understand that if you don't have one of the top 10 horses that always gets talked about, you just feel left out a little bit sometimes, right? I get that, but I'm trying to be as grounded and realistic as I can be. But at the same token, when the horses do start to come forward, they should be mentioned. They should be talked about. And those 10 horses, and there could be a few more, but those 10 horses in particular from last week, I just thought did a hell of a job and deserved. Obviously, it's not like they watch the videos, but you do. Our clients do. My partners do. And it's nice to know that your horse is at least moving forward, right? We do have some that are either mildly regressing or just hanging out in the middle. They might end up being okay grassroots type horses. And some of them will jump forward. And at the other side of that coin, some of them will regress to a point where you're left saying, all right, how many starts does this horse have with us? There are going to be some of those horses. But I can tell you right now, I can't see any of them right now. I know I'm not going to drop names, but there are a couple of horses hanging out near the bottom. And there's concerns. Just let them get to the qualifiers. Once they see the gate, once we get a couple of real fast miles into them, then I have a little more understanding of what they are and what they aren't, maybe what their ceiling is or is not. And then we can start talking about what the horses truly are as 2-year-olds and what they aren't. So that's where we're at right now. The weather is not good today. It poured rain, then the sun came out for a minute. Then it got cold and windy. Then it poured rain again. Then the wind really picked up. It's been an odd day for weather. It looks like it's going to be much of this the rest of the evening. I'm going to get wet. But you know what? The week ahead. I'm interested in the week ahead, and I hope you are too. So, with that, I'll let you go. I will leave you with this. Some more optimism, a little concern on the weekend that Arson had a touch of, the doctor had used the word colitis. I assume there was some digestive issue that he was worried about him colicking, I believe. But he got through the worst of it, I think, through the weekend. Dr. Brown is happy again with what he sees. We are past that 14-day mark. So as far as there were some signs that maybe there was a tiny bit of laminitis in the other foot, but Dr. Brown says, again, that has flattened out and he seems better on it. So that infection laminitis window is now closed. Now it's just healing, rehabbing, staying healthy, and for the love of God, staying alive. And that is where we're at with Arson. He is making gains. He's been a fighter from day one. And the entire situation has just been traumatic, to be honest, and quite disheartening and saddening, but at the same time uplifting in the sense that we're once again seeing how tough this horse always was and still is, and hoping the best for him. So keep your fingers crossed, and as I said, say a little prayer, because we're still not out of the woods yet, but every day with no phone calls from Dr. Brown is a good day. So take care. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week. It should be a decent day at the office tonight. Take care.